Although I'm eating asparagus. Well, finishing up my lunch right here. We're waiting for Jackson to join us up right now. But I hope you guys are having a great day. You guys know we've been doing this show for 5 months almost. This Friday will mark 5 months. Jackson's late. Hello.
It's 4:00.
What's that?
What's up?
Not much eating asparagus. I feel like that scene in Austin Powers.
No.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched Austin Powers because you fucking suck. Well, let me finish up my lunch. You don't like asparagus?
Fuck. I love asparagus.
Dude, my girlfriend doesn't like asparagus. Asparagus is fucking fantastic. I made some last night and ate a whole pizza, and I was meaning to eat half the pizza and eat the asparagus as my side. And I ended up eating the whole pie. And I was like, well, I was having soup and asparagus for lunch today.
Sounds like a boring lunch.
You know what? It's called it's a healthy lunch.
Yeah.
Home style chicken noodle soup.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
I'm done. My hands are a little gross. Got a paper towel, but here we are. Already did the intro. We're going to talk about a few things today, ladies and gentlemen. Those things being, are the Sacramento Kings legit? The next few things that we're going to speak about is first. We're going to start off with the LaMelo Ball ankle injury, just what we know about that, and then we'll also talk about. I made a video yesterday, and I actually ended up listening to something from The Athletic that stated Houston Rockets. We've been talking about the Detroit Pistons and the Orlando Magic as the two surprise playing team, but could the Houston Rockets be that team after what we've been seeing from Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green? So that will be what we'll primarily be talking about in today's video. I think what else I have on deck is Paul George being the if there's an MVP candidate on the Clippers, I think it could be Paul George. Yeah, maybe, and then some roster moves. So you cool starting with the LaMelo Ball, or did you want to start with something else?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, so I got asparagus in my teeth. Worst snack to eat right before a show. I'm going to go the whole show picking asparagus from my teeth. But let me pull up a picture of LaMelo Ball. But as you know, LaMelo Ball has sprained his ankle. We do not know the severity of it yet, but
I think it's grade 2.
It is grade 2?
I think that's the report. I think it's grade 2. He's out for the start.
I know he's out for the start of the season. I was about to say that. I think it's everyone. They basically kind of alluded that he's going to miss the start of the season. I just wanted to make sure that I have the information in front of me. Here's a little picture of LaMelo for you guys. But yeah, so let's go over here and let's talk about it. So what are your thoughts? Right, your LaMelo Ball. What?
No, wait. Give your thoughts first. I'm gonna give you a better picture to use.
Alrighty. Damn, you don't like my picks.
The Rockets are waving Teo Maledon. Sorry.
Wait, the Rockets are waving Teo Maledon?
Right?
What?
I know.
You guys don't have point guards to begin with.
I know.
All right, that's a questionable move. How sad were you that Steven Siles' dad is Paul Siles?
I think I vaguely knew that because I think in his first season when he was struggling, I think that's what the running joke was, that it runs in the family. So I think I vaguely knew that, but I never think of that. I never put it
I didn't know that until I watched the video on the Charlotte Bobcats season, and the coach was Paul Siles. And I was like, oh, and he's black. Dude. And I was like, and I Googled it, and that's what came up.
I want to see that video because I bet actually, no, sorry. I'm thinking about when the Nets won less than 10 games because I remember watching their games that season against Derrick Rose and the Bulls.
So right here, LaMelo Ball left the Charlotte Hornets preseason game against the Washington Wizards in the third quarter due to a sprained ankle. Ball, who was inadvertently stepped on by the Wizards' Anthony Gill, did not return the game. And Ball has undergone more testing today, which leads us to, I'm searching up right now to find what information we can find right now of LaMelo Ball, of what they've announced on his injury. And with that being said, I want to hear your thoughts right now. Okay, Bleacher Report, fuck Bleacher Report, but Joseph Zucker's grade 2 ankle sprain is expected. According to Shams Charania, I must have missed this tweet. And with that being said, he's going to, with a grade 2, obviously they're going to take her time. And let me give you my thoughts right here. Okay, editor, start the clip like 30 seconds before this. But what I'm going to say right here is LaMelo Ball suffering a grade 2 ankle injury might be the best thing for the Charlotte Hornets in a while. The Charlotte Hornets went stagnant. They didn't. I think the hiring of Steve Clifford, I've worked it in my mind so much that at this point I'm okay with it. They needed to improve on defense. They needed to reset the culture. But there was something that I said earlier this offseason. If you go back on the show, I said if the Charlotte Hornets struggle to start off the season, or if they just look like a play-in team again, let's blow it up. Or I even suggested if LaMelo, God hope he didn't get hurt, but he ended up too. If he ends up missing, few, like 1 or 2 months, and they lose all those games, let's blow it up. Everyone except LaMelo should be tradable, and maybe James Bouknight and Mark Williams. Okay, let's blow it up. Let's do what the Pelicans did. Let's try to get established players that we know could go. What if Milwaukee struggles and Chris Middleton's deal is expiring and they don't want to give him the money? Let's see if we could get Chris Middleton. I know that's a far fetch, but with a grade 2 sprained ankle, it typically takes 4 to 6 weeks to allow a full return to the sport. So he's going to be out till November and maybe even December. So that could, mean he's missing their first 9 to 15 or so games. And if they look terrible, let's take this as a gap year. Let's pull a Shea, how the Thunder have done with him, and just say, hey, LaMelo, let's just give you the year off. Work on your body. Let's do that. Let's tank. Let's try to get Cam Whitmore or, Scoot Henderson or God hope, Victor Wembanyama. And let's try to get rid of Gordon Hayward. Let's see what we can get for Terry Rozier. Let's see what we can get for Kai Jones. Let's build around Mark Williams. Let's see if James Bouknight can run it. Let's give all the young guys minutes. Let's basically give all the young guys minutes, and which ones you don't like, let's see what we could get for them. Trade all the veterans and call it a gap year. Go out, try to find your CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram. Thoughts?
Can you pull up my picture?
Oh, you're serious about that. Give me 1 second.
What's up? What's poppin', Maine? You're just in time because we're gonna talk Kings after this. But LaMelo Ball,
I'm not pulling this picture.
Pull up the pic. Come on.
We're pulling up a picture just for hit.
So my one concern with LaMelo Ball, as you're gonna see here with this picture, is
this is not real.
If they shut him down, if they shut LaMelo Ball down, there we go, baby. That's what I'm talking about right there. If they shut LaMelo Ball down, dude, I have concerns regardless if he's shut down or not, if he's staying with Charlotte, because there's no way this man stays with Charlotte for 2 more years if they keep. Like, the Miles Bridges move will change a lot of things. I actually don't know if this is legit news, but I saw on an Instagram page that the Pistons are offering Miles Bridges a contract. I think that was fake news. Because
update on the Miles Bridges situation. So Luke, you remember my friend who's been on the show?
Yeah.
He's a law student. I don't know if you knew that, but I explained to him what's going on with the case and how it's been delayed 4 times, and it's not Miles Bridges people delaying it, it's the state delaying it. And what he said is this is actually kind of a good thing for Miles Bridges. The state is delaying it because they lack evidence. He's like, if a state continuously delays a court case, it's because they don't have enough evidence to go to trial or to present at the hearing. So they keep delaying it. So that when they do have the hearing, it can go to trial. But if it keeps going, a judge just might get pissed off and just dismiss it for lack of evidence.
Yeah.
So again, we have said we'll, like,
I mean, the whole situation, the rumor is crazy. The follow-up pictures were not ideal. All I'm saying is, a rebuild year for LaMelo, yeah, maybe that works. In fact, for Charlotte, that's probably your best case scenario, is just maybe not necessarily shutting down LaMelo, but just trading away Kelly Oubre, trading away Gordon, trading away more of your veteran players.
Bridges' court case was pushed back for a 5th time. It's going to happen tomorrow.
My goodness.
And
they don't got nothing, dude.
So, yeah, that's what we're going to leave it at there. But, yeah, so what are your thoughts? Well, Zion was about to leave. Don't you think if you just proposed to, Mitch and, Steve Clifford and Michael Jordan sit down with LaMelo and be like, look, we'll give you a gap year this year. We're going to go into next year with a shit ton of free agency, with a shit ton of picks. Let's take a gap year. Let's develop the young guys, see who's good, and let's try to do what New Orleans did. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. The issue, like I'm saying with that is, Zion Williamson, when he first came into the league, was this like protege. Like he was supposed to be, not the next LeBron James, but he has that type of ceiling. Like he has that several-time All-Star, several-time MVP. Like Zion Williamson, when he first came into the league, was like, this dude's good. I don't care if he's playing. I don't care if he's not playing. This dude is a superstar. LaMelo Ball's ascending into a superstar right now. If I'm not mistaken, last season he dropped something like 21, 6, and 8. 21, 6, and 7, if I'm not mistaken, shot almost 40% from downtown. So my concern is just retaining LaMelo. But as far as the current roster for the Charlotte Hornets, especially if you don't have Miles Bridges on your roster, I mean, this is not a playoff team. Maybe you get lucky in the Eastern Conference, but they're not a playoff team.
They're not. That's why I say let's blow this up, because they're not a playoff team. They're barely a play-in team, like with a fully healthy LaMelo. And this is what they have LaMelo for 2 more years. He's going into his 3rd season. So without a doubt, they will have LaMelo for 2 more years. Okay. Because if he doesn't take a extension, basically LaMelo is here to stay. There's no reason LaMelo wouldn't take the money that he's going to get offered. Okay. Et cetera, et cetera. But with that being said, I think this is the year that you have to do a gap year. Blow it up now. Let's see who can get out there.
I still think they need to get in that right direction. When we look at New Orleans, you were very clearly getting in the right direction with, first off, they've been drafting really solidly for a while now, but they
don't play their young guys.
And you'll see it this year. We saw it at the end of last year, especially. They need to make that CJ McCollum move. I don't know what free agents will possibly want a trade this season. Some of the main guys that people are keeping their eyes on are guys like Kevin Durant, Jaylen Brown. I don't think either of those would go to Charlotte. But if I'm Charlotte, I have my franchise piece. LaMelo Ball is a superstar in this league, or at least he's trending towards it. He's already a star right now. So I don't care if he's on a bad team. He's not on that bad of a team. I just don't think they don't have enough assets to play it out. They need to get lucky. New Orleans had Anthony Davis. Like, what does tanking for the draft do for me? To pair another star, a possible star that we're going to have to wait a couple more years?
I would try, honestly, something I would try to do is call up the Indiana Pacers, offer Gordon Hayward and picks for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner.
Yeah, you're getting in the right direction with that.
And then if you still feel confident with Terry Rozier right there, I like Terry Rozier. He's just on a really long contract. And like, it's not bad money. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like Terry Rozier, I would rather him be a 6th man, but at the same time, like, I think it's going out there. Let's find pieces. Like if Fred VanVleet's on the way out, or OG Anunoby is on the way out, let's see if we can get a deal going there, or Harrison Barnes. I know these are expiring deals, but this way it frees up cap space, but it's built the team in the right direction. Or let's see one of the Utah guys. I know Gordon Hayward doesn't want to go back to Utah, and it's not really his choice, but probably Utah doesn't want him. But let's see if they could get like Lauri Markkanen if he shows something. Or, there's other players across the league that you can get off of contracts that, people are trying to move. There's even Malik Beasley, or if like Lou Dort is the Thunder won't, he seems like a core guy, but it's just like looking for contracts that are either expiring or, that they can break up one player's big contract into multiple medium-sized contracts, like Kelly Olynyk. You go out there, try to get, Devontae Graham again, but like that's terrible. I don't think they want him again. But you get what I mean? Just try to break it up, like one of the Gordon Hayward's or Terry Rozier's deals into smaller deals, I guess.
You kind of have to, I would imagine, because Charlotte still looks fine cap-wise, and long-term you look really fine, but you've got 2 years before you're going to have to pay LaMelo. Gordon Hayward's contracts for 2 more years, Terry Rozier's contracts for 4 more years. So I do think that those are the two players. Even as much as I like Terry Rozier and I like that he got his opportunity in Charlotte, and I think he's shown he can be a starting point guard in this league, but
he just doesn't put you over.
Yeah, he doesn't do enough for me to retain him, and it's not like he's on that bad of a contract. We're talking $20 to $25 million for the next couple of years, but
I would love Rozier on the Lakers. Like, I think Rozier would help a team like the Lakers, or a team like Portland or the Nets, where he's like the fourth guy. But on the Hornets, he's the second guy.
Yeah.
Like, I want him to be the fourth or the fifth guy on a team, or even the sixth guy. Nothing against him, Yeah. But I think that's it for Charlotte Hornets talk right there. Let's move over to the Sacramento Kings. And I have fallen in love with Keegan Murray. You know me. From the draft, I very much liked Keegan Murray. I said his floor is Tobias Harris, which I think is like a very high floor, because you and I are in agreement that we think Tobias Harris is one of the most disrespected NBA players. People forget Tobias Harris, all-star, okay? Like, Tobias Harris has been like third option majority of his career and has put up stats. But I think Keegan Murray, that's his floor. And I'm a huge Domantas Sabonis fan. I know there's the limitations of his defense, but for me, I think this is a team that is way more complete than people want to suggest. And I think personally, okay, that when you look at the squad, they've got some talent, okay? Like, they've got talent. And I want to hear your thoughts. Do you believe in the Sacramento Kings? I think they've really gone hard on defense. If you look at every position besides Sabonis, and I think Fox is a better defender than people, want to give credit to, but besides Sabonis, and I know Keegan Murray, he doesn't project to be a great defender, but this is a team that has defense at every position. You got point guard Davion Mitchell, and Davion Mitchell, lockdown defender. De'Aaron Fox, when he tries, is pretty decent at defense. You got Matthew Dellavedova, who I hope makes the roster. And then you go over to the shooting guards. Kevin Huerter, when he tries, can play defense. Same thing with Terrence Davis. I've never seen Malik Monk really play defense, but they have Keon Ellis on a two-way. And then you have Chima Muniki. I don't know if he'll make the roster, but if he does, they gave him a bit of money. And they have KZ Okapala, who they've been starting defenders. They have Kate Bazemore, if he makes the roster, another defender. Harrison Barnes, another defender. All guys, multiple of these guys have been in the Golden State Warriors system, so they're going to be playing very similar defense to the Warriors. Chemzy Metu can play defense. You got Rashawn Holmes, play defense. Alex Lynn's a rim protector, and Keita, rim protector on two-way. What are your thoughts? Am I being ostentatious? Am I being a little too excited for this roster, or are you in agreement that this is a team that a lot of defense? I think I'm not acting here like, the Sacramento Kings are going to be a top 3 seed. No, I think they could be like the 6th, at best. But I think they could be like they're 100% a playing team. But I think they could be a team that could be the 6th seed. Like, they could be like the 15th best offense and the 15th best defense. Like, they could be middle of the pack team.
Yeah, I think that getting your defense to around 15, I think, would be a huge success and a huge step in the right direction for Sacramento. I think in order for Sacramento to get into like the 6th seed, a guaranteed spot, I think they are more of a playing team right now. But I think you would just need, obviously your 2 stars, Sabonis and Fox, to do their things. I think you'd need Keegan Murray to be a Rookie of the Year candidate, which the way he's looked in Summer League and preseason, it looks like they have no issues with that. Harrison Barnes, keep doing your thing. Kevin Huerter, Malik Monk, Just do your jobs, do your roles. Davion Mitchell, keep ascending. There's a lot of, I mean, this team is a lot deeper, I think, than a lot of people think. I don't know if they'll be a 6 seed just because of how good the West is and how young and kind of new this whole scheme system is. So, to me, they're more of a playing team waiting on the further development of your draft talent. But then, they're probably looking at stars. Free agency isn't as good as you would think it's going to be this upcoming year. But I think if you have Fox, Sabonis, and Keegan Murray, if Keegan turns into a star, I don't think, that you don't need a star. You don't need another max contract guy. You don't need a max guy on your team. So I think Sacramento this year needs to just make the play-in tournament, maybe make it interesting. If they could get out of the play-in and get into the first round of the playoffs, even better. But they shouldn't have too many issues as long as they win to find a guy that is willing to come on over. Even if it's a player like Jeremy Grant, I think offers this team a lot. So they'll be a fun team to watch. They're going to go through growing pains, but Fox and Sabonis year 2, year 0.5 to 1.5, I guess. I think they're going to look pretty good. And, Fox is underrated in his own regard, and Sabonis is underrated as well, just because of their, I don't like using the word small market, but, Indiana and Sacramento the last couple of years haven't necessarily been, winning like crazy. So I like Sacramento a lot this year. And Mike Brown's awesome, and he's, it's year 1. So establish a culture and see what happens.
I agree, and I have high expectations. The one smart thing that they did was they brought in a lot of guys who played for the Warriors, who've played for Mike Brown. And if they didn't play for the Warriors, they played for Mike Brown in Cleveland. And I think the whole thing is, hey, let's implement a scheme that half the guys on the roster are already aware how to do it. And they brought in, not only did they bring in defenders, they got shooters. We live in a league where it rides and dies on shooting. And I think the biggest question on this roster for me is just how the front court's going to look. I think the rest of the roster makes sense. I love the point guard depth. I like the shooting guard rotation of Herder, Terrence Davis, and Malik Monk. Monk being the 6th man. Then they got the wings. I like that of Barnes and Murray headlighting there, and then they got some guys back there, and then they got some stretch 4s. But my question is with the front court, are we going to see a Sabonis Rashawn Holmes? Are we going to be just Sabonis and Barnes? Is it going to be, like what is he going to be? Okay. And the reason why I think it is just going to be Sabonis, and then they have Harrison Barnes, probably maybe Harrison Barnes and Murray, and then probably Kevin Herter and De'Aaron Fox, because that replicates a very similar lineup that the Warriors have run, with Herter playing the Klay Thompson role, Barnes playing the role that he did for the Warriors, and Keegan Murray probably playing just a stretch. Maybe even Harrison Barnes playing the Andre Iguodala role, and then you have Keegan Murray playing the Harrison Barnes role, and then you have De'Aaron Fox doing his own thing. Not saying that he's going to be Steph Curry, but doing his own thing because he's one of the fastest point guards in the league. And Sabonis I know he's not the rim protector that Andrew Bogut was, but people don't realize is Andrew Bogut was not what he used to be, what he was like when he first came into the league, when he had his success with the Warriors. And Bogut, he only played a handful of seasons with the Warriors. It felt like he played way longer. Like he played technically 5 years, but it was a 4-year stretch. And in that 4-year stretch, he was a guy, he averaged, almost 2 blocks a game. And I know that is such a big stretch for Sabonis. I could see Sabonis being a guy who averages more steals than blocks, which he's done for a majority of his career, I believe. But if they can use Sabonis like they did with Andrew Bogut, have him pass out the elbow, just grab rebounds, and especially that he can shoot, kind of use him as their Andrew Bogut, Draymond Green mix, not as defensively versatile as either of those players, but offensively is what I mean.
He's an underrated passer.
Oh, 100%. I mean, this is a guy who's going to average at least 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists next year.
Nice.
Like they're going to take I just want to see Mike Brown's such a smart defensive coach, how is he going to utilize Sabonis creatively for him to be respectable defensively? Because with Sabonis, we've talked about this. Sabonis has actually been a plus defender in the NBA for a season, like I think 2 seasons in the NBA. For his career, he actually has a defensive rating of 108. My apology. He from 2016 to 2020, he averaged a defensive rating of 106. And I know defensive rating is just such a skewed stat. Those were good defensive teams. And this past year, he had 113, which was pretty bad. And the year before, 109, which is average. But he's a plus defender for his career. But my thing is I want to look back at his international stats. Has Sabonis ever actually been a rim protector? Has he ever had success protecting the rim at any level of basketball? And that is a straight up no. And his best season protecting the rim was his last year at Gonzaga, where he averaged 0.9 blocks per game. But he was a guy that, has shown he's adept at getting steals. And I wonder, like, rim protection isn't needed, but can he contest the shots, make it difficult for people, And I know he's limited because he has his wingspan. He's 6'11" with a 6'11" wingspan. So,
that's why you got guys like Holmes and Maytu and even a little Trey Lyles.
What's your projection for this team? Are they legit?
Well, what's the definition of legit? Is it legit finals contenders? Because absolutely
not. Legit playoff team.
Yeah, I don't like that the play-in's existing thing. So I think if the play-in tournament wasn't in, I wouldn't necessarily put all my money on them being a top 8 seed. But I think they'll be between 7 and 11, and
I think 6 and 10.
That's completely fair.
Because they could be way better. Because if they're 15 and 15, like offensive defensive rankings, they're 100% the 6th seed.
Yeah, it's just a huge improvement from last season and years prior when they were bottom 5 in defense. But I think for them they'll be the 8th or 9th seed. If I had to put a specific projection on it.
What's something that the biggest weakness of this team, in your opinion?
It's got to be defense, and it's probably more reliable defensive guys. I don't, like the backcourt. When we look at the backcourt, what kind of jump is Davion Mitchell going to take here? Is he going to have a breakout season? I think they're just continuing to fill the holes. They're a deeper team than they've been in years prior, and they're still relatively deep. But, how much are those guys at the bottom of your roster? What's their impact going to be? I think that's going to be a pretty big thing for them. Like Terrence Davis, Kent Bazemore to me sucks. So Kent Bazemore doesn't offer me anything. I hope I'm wrong. Alex Len, KZ, Trey Lyles, Maytu, Rashawn Holmes. I think it's going to come down to, how much are they actually going to produce for you? Because on paper, they all should produce enough. So I don't want to call them like where they don't have enough talent, because I don't think it's that cut and dry. But when I'm looking at Sacramento, I don't think that they have enough firepower necessarily quite yet, which is totally fine. And I don't think that's what they were aiming for.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely something interesting to think about. Like, I think they do have the firepower. I think I'm a little bit more optimistic because I like Mike Brown. But, yeah, I think one thing, it does require players taking jump, and it is asking a lot of them. But I am optimistic. We've seen teams have turnaround. Hey, look at the New Orleans Pelicans last year. Willie Green.
Yeah, they just were a lot more.
Look at the Boston Celtics first year.
A lot more top heavy, yeah.
But, yeah, I think it's definitely the Pistons are something interesting to watch. I think they'll be a fun team to watch. I think this will probably be the better. Did I just say the Pistons? The Kings. My apology, Kings fans. I think the Pistons will be fun to watch, but the Kings are going to definitely be a team fun to watch, and it'll be definitely something to look out for. And I just think this will be one of the best Kings teams since DeMarcus Cousins' prime.
Nice, dude.
Now let's talk about something else, and that is the Houston Rockets. Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. look like they are the motherfucking truths for this Houston Rockets team. And now, with the amount of firepower on this squad, it seems like every day I see them, they're just a bit more likely to be, the team that could take a massive jump. I don't know about you. Are you? I mean, you're somewhat of a Rockets fan, so I'm curious to hear.
No, they're not going to be up in the playoffs this year as much as I would love.
No faith, fake Rockets fan
I'd
right
love
here.
to sit here and lie to you
Fake
guys,
fucking
but
Rockets fan. You don't believe that this team could? They have an influx of talent. This is a team primed to make a run for the playoffs, and you're saying you're a fan, but you don't believe in the team.
I'm what we call realistic.
I don't think you're realistic. You're pessimistic.
I'm pretty realistic. All right.
No, you're a pessimist. You
okay,
want me to tell you?
Then tell me last night, who did Miami Heat have? Oh, I'll answer it for you. They had their second and third unit at best, and who won?
I'm going to tell you this. Kevin Porter Jr., 20-point scorer. Jalen Green, 25 points scorer. All right, you got 17 points per game scoring Eric Gordon, your glue defensive guy, and Jayshawn Tate. Alperen Şengün, double-double. 11 and 11 probably right there. You just got Teo Maledon because Ty Washington's the fucking truth. You got Josh Christopher as like the sixth man, and then you got backing up like Jalen Green, Garrison Matthews backing up Eric Gordon with KJ Martin's help. Then Tari East. Actually, you know what? Fuck that. Eric Gordon sixth man. I'm gonna start Jabari Smith with Jayshawn Tate. Okay, KJ, and then you have Josh Christopher, Garrison Matthews, KJ Martin, Eric Gordon off the bench. Derek Favors backing up Alperen Şengün. Usman Garuba sprinkled in there with some Bruno Fernando. This team, the fucking talent, you got like 15 points from Eric Gordon. You got 17 from Jabari Smith. You get 21 points and 25 points from Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. 11 and 11. This is an optimistic Rocks fan. This team's going to be scoring 130 points a night. Okay, I mean they might give up 140, but they
will give up 140 as they did last season and the year before that. As much as I love my Houston Rockets, our defense is nowhere close. It's nowhere close.
It just runs in the family, I guess. Steven Siles was not meant to coach basketball.
Like Kevin Porter Jr., first off, your projection of Kevin being a 20-point per game scorer, Rocket Nation loves you. Because I'm right there with you. I think Kevin Porter Jr. is a star in this league, and he is a point guard. Jalen Green, KPJ, as far as the backcourt goes on offense, they're going to blow teams off the water. It's just like what we saw last night, and I'm not trying to nitpick you. I love you, but like there's no way you watched more than 1 minute of last night's game.
I did not watch last night.
Yeah, because you'd have much different opinions on this. Houston came off just unreal. Like Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, they were just scoring like crazy. We were offensively amazing, and then the bench squad came in, and that's where my flaws come in. However, we still don't know what our bench is going to look like. We haven't seen Jabari play in the last two games. Jabari will be starting. We haven't seen Eric Gordon play in the preseason at all, so that's another valuable player for us. Derek Favors, Willie Cauley-Stein, we haven't seen them yet, so that's going to be interesting. But when I look at our bench, I'm thinking this. Daishen Nix is not ready. Ty Washington Jr. is definitely not ready. Who's our backup point guard?
Ty Washington, baby.
It's not going to be Ty Washington
Look,
Jr.
Every Kentucky point guard is good.
I'm not saying Ty is bad. In fact, Ty should be our backup point guard for the second half of the season and on. But last night's game, especially, he's not ready. He's just not ready. He's too raw. He's just not quite ready. However, with a benched unit has a lot of different moving parts right now as we try and finalize our roster, I will give Ty the benefit of the doubt. However, I don't know if the Houston Rockets see that same point. Now, with Teo Maledon being waived a couple hours ago,
Daishen Nix and Ty, the best backup point guards in the league. Nix, 5-star recruit.
You and I can shoot better from the free throw line than Daishen Nix. 53%? Are we talking about Shaquille O'Neal? How are you, as a guard, shooting 53% from the free throw line? I don't care. You're not making my team. You can't shoot 53% from the free throw line. You're not making my roster. So then your next best is Ty Ty. All right, well, Ty Ty's pretty raw. So what I would do is I'd give Ty Ty the nod over Dacian. I'd bring Eric Gordon onto my bench, still give him 25 a night, but I'm letting Ty Ty ease in with a playmaker and distributor, a low-key distributor in Eric Gordon. I'm probably keeping Jay Sean in the starting lineup with Jabari. Then I'm having Tari come off of the bench. Houston's close. We're very close. We need to fill out the rest of the roster. We need to evaluate these guys for one last season. And then that's when you make the moves with your stock of first-round picks or all this cap space you have. However, one thing I was talking about in my last Rockets live stream was, I'm looking at next year's free agency list. It really isn't as good as it's hyped up to be. It's more so next year where you see the top of the line. However, I wouldn't be surprised if Houston next year starts moving into those, once again, the Jeremy Grants of the NBA, where we're talking fourth option guys, young guys entering their prime. Houston's not quite there on the defensive end, and that's why we won't be there. Şengün's really good. However, what we saw from last night with Şengün was he wasn't involved in the offense at all. What we saw in Şengün's opener, in the Rockets preseason opener against San Antonio, was he was a vital and integral piece of the offense. We didn't see that last night at all. In fact, it was probably Şengün's worst game as a Houston Rocket, which is kind of crazy to say. And I know it's preseason, but we're close. We're not quite there yet. I love Usman Garuba, and I hope he gets the nod. But Bruno's very raw. Garrison Matthews probably shouldn't be on our roster. KJ is still very raw. Christopher's still very raw. Our bench is extremely raw. We're not quite there yet. I wouldn't be surprised if Houston was hanging around the tail of the play-in tournament. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think it'll happen, though. I really hope I'm wrong.
I think this team's way better than you're suggesting.
Just watch the games. But that's another thing is you're not watching these games. I'm watching
it's preseason basketball.
I'm watching Houston Rocket games twice right now. I don't care if it's a preseason. I watched every Houston Rocket game last season. I watched every preseason game twice.
I'm not watching the games live. I'm like watching film. But look, I haven't watched anything from last night's game except Kevin Porter and Jalen Green's tape.
Yeah, they balled their ass off, man. Jalen might be a 25-point per game scorer this season. And
I made a video on them last night because I didn't watch the whole game, but I watched just their highlights. It was on Twitter, and I watched it. And I was like, "Holy fuck!" And that's what made me think right there, Kevin Porter and Jalen Green, Eric Gordon on a nightly basis. Those guys could easily give you 60 points. Those three guys on a nightly basis. Then you got Şengün, Josh Christopher.
Take a look at Christopher. It's
Jabari Smith, Christopher, and Şengün. Christopher, and Şengün. Those guys can give you 30 a night at least combined.
Şengün's fouled out last night. Once again, Şengün has major foul issues.
That's why I think they need to go by center by committee. Go 3 or 4 centers. Şengün for offense, Derek Favors for all-around game, Garuba for defense, and Bruno Fernando to see what the fuck he is.
Well, what about Willie, too?
Willie, he's getting cut. Boban's just there for marketing.
Just got signed, though.
He's a training camp deal.
Yeah, they do want him in the G League. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. I think Willie's a little bit better than G League. Not by much, but
you should just
I don't know, man. Even guys like Christopher last night, with this weird bench unit we're running, Christopher came in, missed his first 6 shots, had 6 turnovers. It's a horrible night for Christopher. I mean, he's going to continue taking the jump. It's just my point is turnovers. I don't have the exact stat on me, but I guarantee you the Rockets' first 3 preseason games had 20-plus turnovers. So, yeah, we're going to be scoring a lot. I don't know how many defensive stops we're going to be able to do when it matters. I don't know how often we're going to, I'm sure the turnovers are going to improve. The free throw shooting is going to improve, but at the end of the day, they're still very raw. They're going to miss free throws. They're going to make mistakes. So, long-term Rockets look great, and I think this is the year where they start establishing that, as we've already seen with Jalen Green and KPJ already. But Tari Eason, just might be the steal of the draft, and I think I made a video on that a couple of days ago, and people were calling me crazy. I'm like, well, technically, a steal isn't going to be in the lottery, right? So we're talking 15 to 60. Well, Tari Eason right now looks like the best player drafted from 15 to 60. So that's a steal, in my opinion. You're able to get Tari Eason at 17. I mean, if we did a redraft right now, Tari Eason's going to the lottery. So they look great, and I really like the fact that they got Jabari and Tari and how defense-oriented both of them are. We're in the right direction. Jalen Green, KPJ, both of them looked incredibly improved on the defensive end.
Yeah, no, I just have faith for this team. I think this is a team that can shock people, and
they will. I mean, first game against the Hawks, I think Jalen probably drops 30. KPJ probably drops 22 at least.
Good looks. Jalen Daniels is missing the rest of the season.
Is he really?
He suffered a grade.
I saw that he's missing that Oklahoma game. I did not know that.
Grade 3 shoulder separation. Wow. It's Jason Bean's team.
Did it happen in game?
Yeah, I saw it happen.
Wow.
He ran to the sideline.
That's why they lost.
No, we lost because he fucking fumbled the series before. I mean, there was a few mistakes.
Did he stay in?
Nah, he got hurt and then he left. But this drive before he fumbled on the 1 yard line. There was a lot more mistakes. We could have won that game, but
TCU's good.
Yeah, TCU's a legit team. TCU's a top 10 team arguably in the country. They are a fucking squad. Those guys were huge. But that game, we just proved that we are a top 25 team in this nation, and that we can hang out with the big omen.
Not for long.
No, we will. Jason Bean's gonna dick down at Oklahoma.
What the fuck is that?
Jason Bean. He's the fastest player on our team, and he plays.
Oh, hell yeah!
Yeah, he was a state champ or national champion in track and field.
Nice.
So he runs like a 4.3 and plays quarterback.
Word.
But yeah, no, it's a bit exciting.
Similar offense. Sounds like.
We just need one more win, and we're going to a bowl game.
There you go.
One more win, baby, and we're going to a bowl game. Now, let's take a little break and do a mental vacation to our favorite game.
Nice. I'm so out of it today, dude. It rained here. I've been in Chicago for 3 weeks now, and it rained. And I'm just depressed. I'm genuinely depressed.
When are you moving? Are you not moving back? Or are you just leaving your place?
I leave tomorrow.
I thought you were just gonna be yeah, my place is gone. I'm just ghosting.
Yeah, I leave tomorrow.
What happens if you come back and they just didn't email you and your place got flattened?
Yeah, well, that's my biggest fear right now is that my car's dead. I don't know anybody there, and that
is your roommate not there?
No, he's not gonna be back for the whole month. So my concern is that there's no Wi-Fi and I have no car, and I'm well, fuck.
What happens if you show up and they're oh, we forgot to send an email. We just assumed you knew, and it's just your building's gone.
It's not because we've been getting emails, thankfully. Dude, this guy's on the tip of my goddamn tongue.
You want to hear who I think it is?
I think he's on the Pelicans. Wow, yeah, there we go. So technically, you're up 2-0. Do I get a half point for that?
Yeah, we'll split that one. We'll split that one. We were both going for the same thing.
He was on the tip of my tongue there.
Once you just get used to seeing these guys' faces, you just know their hairs. But let's move on to some other news. And do you think, we talked about Draymond potentially leaving, trying to go and pick at straws. Patrick McCaw just signed a deal. I don't know why I'm craving. You know what I'm getting tonight? I'm gonna get chicken tenders. I'm either gonna get Cane's tonight, or I'm gonna get. Oh, dude, what else? What other place sells chicken tenders? Because
Zaxby's by you.
No, the Zaxby's closed the year before I came. I've never had Zaxby's or Bojangles, but
I haven't had Bojangles, but Zaxby's tenders are nice. I just tried them.
I've never had Church's chicken either. I've wanted to have Church's chicken. Have you had Slim Jim's? Slim Jim chicken?
The meat, no.
Or Slim, not Slim Jim. Slim's chicken.
I'm not a big chicken. I'm not a big breaded chicken guy unless it's a
normal
form.
That Slim's chicken's a tender. All these places I just said are tender places. You fucking.
Culver's has really. I don't know if there's Culver's in Canada.
Yeah, dude, I love Culver's. I love Culver's. It's 10 minutes down the street.
Yeah, they're tenders.
Yeah, it's on the other side of town. Good, I might go get Culver's.
They're really good.
Culver's. They have tenders there.
They're so good, dude. Yeah.
Okay, I might go get it because I kind of want tender. I didn't want Cane's because Cane's is like its own kind of tenders. It's more like a flaky tender. I wanted the hard, crunchy type tender. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And because don't get me wrong, I fucking love Cane's, but Cane's is really they just cut a chicken breast in half, breaded it, and threw it in the fryer.
That sauce carries them, dude.
The sauce care, dude. You're about to take it. Yes. And all their sauce is fucking Texas Pedal with black pepper in it. Okay. That's all their sauce is. And I was feeling I'm craving. Yeah, I'm either gonna do Dairy Queen or Culver's. I'm right now heavily weighing in on Culver's. They don't have any of these fast food places here, but Culver's. Did you not have Culver's until you went to Florida?
No, that's a big Illinois staple.
Okay. Yeah, Culver's. I might get the chicken tenders. The only thing holding me back from going to Culver's is there's a Dairy Queen 5 minutes from me. Culver's is on the other side of town.
Well, if you go to Culver's, is what I would get.
You get a haircut?
No. I haven't had a hair gel in like 3 weeks. So I'm excited for that. But if I was going to Culver's right now and I wanted tenders, I'd probably get tenders, curds, and a concrete mixer. So.
Dude, I know. I'm about to splurge. I'm about
to dinner there.
Yeah, I'm about to do it. You heard what my lunch was. All it was a fucking asparagus and
a little
chicken.
Soup, little bitch.
Yeah, I went to the rec, put in some work.
What are you, 38? Having soup for lunch? It's getting cold.
I have soup all the time for lunch. I have grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Oh, that's the best. Yeah,
twice a week. I have that like twice a week for lunch. That's like my.
Where do you get this tomato soup?
The store I buy cans.
Oh, so it's not homemade. And I assume, I know you're you're a little Italian, right? I assume you don't, when you're cutting and making tomato dish, I assume you don't peel the tomatoes, which every Italian does. So you're probably like a phony there.
I didn't know you were supposed to peel.
Yeah, you're supposed to peel the tomatoes. Yeah,
I don't use when I make sauce. I'm an asshole. When I make tomato sauce, the way obviously I can do it with fresh stuff, but the way my parents do is we buy the canned tomato. No, they're like the pulps where they're already skinned. You know what I mean? You take them out and you smash them. Then you mix oregano, Tabasco, some paprika.
You need to peel those tomatoes by hand.
Okay, but my parents
make a bolognese this weekend and do that.
I love bolognese. No,
yeah, right.
I don't. So I'm an asshole. I hate clean a dirty sink, and one of my roommates likes to go chef Bobby Flay, and leaves the fuck
shit in there.
Oh my god, dude! I fucking hate it. But it's just that's why. So when I cook stuff, I cook shit that requires the least amount of cleaning. That's why I make a lot of soups. I make a lot of things where as soon as I clean it, while after I plate it, how you can't immediately eat something.
Exactly.
I just quick rinse, throw it in the dishwasher. Yep.
We're adults. I saw a tweet saying you're an adult, you can clean and cook. Relax,
dude. Oh my god, yes. Well, I'm so used to cleaning and cooking because no, the red one, other side. Check it. I have a volunteer at the post office grabbing me some shit, and he's just like, "Did you?" Yeah, okay. The kid's a moron. They're all morons. They're fucking worthless. But okay, let's talk about some NBA. Now, we just need some filler because there really isn't much to talk about right here.
Well, Anthony Davis dropped 28 points on 2 of 4 from downtown again on Sunday night. So
okay, you want to go into the Anthony Davis talk?
He's a plus 250 at center in his tenure in Los Angeles. So,
dude, Luke Walton's an assistant coach on the Cavs.
Hell yeah.
He's working on some pick and pop game.
Donovan Mitchell looked nice as well. Cavs look good.
Let me pull this up. All right, let me cut through this. All right, here we go. Let's look at this. Got to mute it because it's killing my ear. So right here we got Luke Walton working with our man, Evan Mobley, as you can see right here, it's just basic little. He goes right here, sets pick, moves over, top of the key, strokes it. Basic little thing. It's looking like he's doing a fake pick where he runs up and he does he kind of acts like he's going to set a screen and then he just pops out to the 3-point line.
Yeah.
And this is a common thing we've seen with guys like Miles Turner, Anthony Davis that you just was aforementioned.
Yeah.
And it's a very common thing, especially with guys who have versatile games that can, step back, pop out real quick. It does, Kristaps Porzingis does it, Nikola Jokic does it. I mean, even wings do it. It's a very common play. And Evan Mobley last year, I believe, what was his percentage from three? For a big guy, a rookie big guy, he shot, respectable for his first season. Like at times, he shot 25% for the season, but I think he had a few. I think November was the month where, he had a month where it was December.
Definitely not a bad 3-point shooter.
So between November and December, through 21 games, he shot about 33%, almost 34% from three. And he was averaging about 15 points a night, but he was shooting basically 2 3-pointers a night at 34%. And that's not terrible. I mean, he's a guy who also, during that span, the first 30 games of the season, he was a 80% free throw shooter. So he's a guy who has shooting ability. He can stretch the floor. He can score. He has talent. It's not like he can't shoot whatsoever. And I think him right here being able to stretch the floor and being versatile enough to do this, I think could be huge for the team. I'm really fucking with this video, just the looping. But
yeah, I like centers who can shoot those threes because I noticed this with Anthony Davis in the last game against the Dubs where you'll get the rebound and most centers will go, you're charging back to get down into the paint. Whereas if you have a guy who can stretch the floor, they're running up to the 3-point line and the opposing team center is already back down in the paint anticipating them to be there and you've got a wide open three. So if Mobley can get even that number starting with a 3 from downtown, that's a huge. It just opens up your offense because you have more options. So I am I know Mobley was only a 30% 3-point shooter in college. He was only taking about 1 3 a night. So I like that he's he'll be there. I don't know if he'll ever get to 40% 3-point shooter, but as long as he's shooting over 30%. It adds another element. Another thing defenses have to worry about.
So, I agree. And I think we saw James Wiseman shooting threes. It's not like you need guys to be out there shooting 30 fucking threes a night just so teams, have to respect them. And it helps space the floor. It's something that, teams like. And it's a different maker. And I think it's just something that's going to help push this team and definitely make a difference when, season time, like in the season, stretching the floor, especially with the twin towers of Jared Allen being there, Evan Mobley being able to stretch the floor is going to be a worlds of difference.
Yeah.
But let's move on to another thing. I wanted to talk about team. But first off, I think they're a interesting squad, the Brooklyn Nets. As what is there to expect? Also, I don't know if you saw this video. This one's pretty. You saw this one?
I had issues with this. I even responded to a tweet about it.
Yeah, I saw the tweet, and we'll just loop it just because it's a funny video, and I don't think it's what's the word? It doesn't mean anything. It's just really,
it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
Even if he was,
nobody reacted. Nobody reacted in this. No one reacted. Kyrie and Kevin Durant are just talking. Nobody, not even the crowd. Nobody reacted. Okay, I think the biggest reaction's coming from social media. Nobody's reacting to this. Look at the crowd.
No one. It looks a little cold there. Playing outside is completely different than inside. Ben Simmons hasn't played a meaningful game in over a year.
It's not even a regulation hoop, it looks like.
It's a double rim. Even if he hit the rim,
it's a single rim, bro. That's a single rim.
What single rims exist outside?
I don't know. You're right. Single rim. Fuck you.
Yeah, there's nothing. I got nothing for this. So I sent a tweet to one of my buddies, Nets Kingdom. He runs a great Nets YouTube channel, and he was getting mad at people flaming him on this. I'm like, that's just so embarrassing. He's 15, 8, and 7. And some guy responded. It was a Sixers fan, and he responded. He was like, dude, 15, 8, and 7 is generous for Ben Simmons. And I'm so glad some guy, because I didn't want to get into arguments with random people. I'm so glad people were like, dude, that's his career average. This salty Sixers fan literally is like an anti-Ben Simmons Twitter page. And he's like, that's like a really good game from Ben Simmons. It's like, well, actually, it's his career average.
So I think the interesting part with this thing is just like, why does Ben Simmons just get like so much hate?
It's easy. Like every team with high expectations needs scapegoats.
Every team with high expectations just needs somebody to shit on. Let's just
true. If they don't live up to it, it's true. They need somebody to blame. Look at any LeBron James team that didn't win a championship.
That's true. Let's move on.
JR got ridiculed. JR is still getting ridiculed for that like really doggy, stupid mistake that he made. But at the same time, maybe don't be down by a couple points going into last possession. Like there's a lot of other stuff that goes into it.
No, I agree. I'm trying to find one more subject to talk about, and I think it's definitely all right. Here we go. Let's talk some Boston Celtics. I think the Boston Celtics are an interesting squad. Here's a little video from them from practice, just throwing the football around. It kind of looks fun, like they're having a good time, just doing their thing.
Regulation football in his hands?
I don't know.
That thing is tiny in his hands.
I don't think so. It didn't look like an NFL ball. An NFL ball is huge. Have you ever thrown a real football?
I don't know, actually.
Oh, my God. Okay, let me show you. So I have this bad boy. Like.
Is that college?
Yeah, this is a college. This is like official college.
I think I'm used to college.
Yeah, this is a college. I think he had a college ball. Like, and I have a pretty big hand for like the average guy. Like, this doesn't do me justice. Like, I don't know if this ball like
still looks kind of big. Yeah.
Like, I'm also closer, but like, yeah, like if I put my whole hand on there.
I mean, it looks like a Nerf ball in his hands. It's at least a college-sized ball, I would imagine.
Yeah, it has to be a college ball. It has.
So who's throwing?
Well, no,
who's throwing non-college-sized balls though?
The thing is so a college football has one stripe on one side. A high school ball has the stripes on all the sides, and an NFL ball has no stripes. That ball has no stripes.
I don't think I saw any stripes.
Yeah, which means it has to be a professional ball.
So his fans I mean, we knew his hands are gigantic, but geez.
You know what they say about big hands? Big feet. You know what they say about big feet?
I'm actually so glad I have big hands
socks
for my size, and I have like
you look like you have Pilbara. You got an 11 for like a 5.
For a 5'9" kid, like I'll
that's
take
decent.
That.
Yeah, right? I mean, you're not far behind. Like I can squeeze into an 11 depending on what shoe it is, but I'm a 13.
Nice.
I vary. I'm like 12 to 13. Certain shoes I like in 12s or 12 and a half, but most shoes are 13. Shoes are just weird, but over the Boston Celtics, dude, Sam Hauser's looking legit for them. And I think this is going to be a fun team to watch. But I don't know. I think like over here, what if Blake Griffin just like resurges and like Blake Griffin, it's just Al Horford, Blake Griffin just dominating for them. Blake Griffin's just
I don't think so, but that'd be cool for them.
That'd be cool.
Boston.
I'd enjoy it. But alrighty. I think that's how we'll wrap up the show. I'm gonna start doing these Twitter videos. I kind of fuck with it.
Nice.
Do you?
Yeah.
Gives a show a little bit more of a take. I just really like how over the last month or two I've gotten pretty fucking good at adding the we have to
Dude,
pick
it's
this.
every time I do a solo stream, I'm like, shout out, everyone give some love to Cyro because this is annoying and hard.
Because I got it quick. Well, because the thing is, I mute my mic and I kind of have it set up the pictures ahead of time. So before I cue it, I switch.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's I will admit it took a while to get,
Yeah, like when I was doing the Patrick Williams segment last week, I think I just went to his like ESPN profile because I was like trying to pull up a picture and then I'm like, fuck, it's not even loading correctly. Like,
yeah, it takes me like, dude. So like, it takes me because I have to open image on a new tab and I
yeah,
have to zoom in. And then
Makes
the thing
sense.
is like not every picture works. Some of them are too
Yeah.
blurry. So like it takes me a while. So it's taking me. I'm quick now because I've done it so many times that I'm just like, and then I get it.
Looks good now.
But yeah, no, and I think it gives a little bit more professionalism.
Well, can you go back to like our throwback, how we used to do it, where it's just like us side by side?
Yeah. Hey, fuck you! Get off the
Welcome back
screen.
to the first ever episode of the NBA show.
It looks a lot better this way.
Yeah.
We can also do this. I'm
guest.
Yeah, I'm in. No, I'm your guest. I would like to say thank you for having me on, Jackson. I know I'm the guest of honor right now.
Yeah, we'll have to. Ugly people can't be on TV, so we'll have to keep this segment short.
Oh, damn. Like how my whole thing. I had a teacher once told me I had a smile for radio. After and I didn't get it until like a few years later. Like he told me this like in the 7th grade, and I think I was like 18. And I was just like, damn.
Basically, you're ugly as fuck.
Yeah. It's like, you have a smile for radio. I was just like, I took it as a compliment.
Yeah, like, cool.
Yeah, cool. Sweet. And then like 5-6 years later, I was like, holy shit, that was the most backhanded compliment ever.
Yeah.
I think I'm a decent looking person for TV. There's some butt ugly ass people.
There's some very ugly people on this planet.
Yeah, and I think I'm on the better half of the people. I'm not saying, I'm like an LA 6, maybe a 5, but I think an average person, I'm like an 8 or a 7.5. Maybe I'm being modest.
I noticed that last night. I was watching Piers Morgan versus Andrew Tate, and I was like, damn, Piers is like really ugly. Like, I'm surprised he's like apparently he's like a big name. Like, damn, like pretty ugly dude.
Let me see.
You don't know what Piers Morgan looks like?
No. Is he related to JP Morgan?
No, Piers Morgan.
Yeah, Piers Morgan. See, like, and he's an anchor. See, like, if he's an anchor, I've made it.
He's like an OG anchor.
Yeah, I'm way better looking than that guy. For old like the conservative white women who've like have fantasies of a foreign man, I can fulfill that for them on a nightly basis.
Hey, there you go. That got me thinking. I'm looking real quick what our girl number is. I'm gonna guess less than 1%. Also, my channel, when I was making Raptors videos, my channel was we're 7% female. My Raptors, when I had like 2 months of like good Raptors videos, my girl percent was like 25 or something. My girl percent on my personal YouTube is like 60% or something like that, which really surprises me.
60% of women?
Yeah, it's majority women.
My YouTube is like middle-aged men.
Yeah. Like, and that's what you want. So
let me look at my audience right now. I have, all right, let's find a drum roll, please. 6.5% of my viewers are female. Lifetime. Nice. Let's go lifetime.
Yeah, do lifetime. That's
for my lifetime on YouTube. It's taking forever to load. I think my shit's just saying like this is just we cannot compute.
Mine's doing the same thing.
5.7.
5.7, nice.
Most of my viewers are from 25 to 34, second most 35 to 44, third most 18 to 24, fifth most 45 to 64. And Besides the United States, my second largest following is from the Philippines. Third is Canada. Fourth is Australia. Fifth is the United Kingdom. Then Taiwan, then Israel, then Germany, then Spain. Got some Latvia in there.
You want to take it? My number was way off for my lifetime girl numbers on my personal YouTube, but take a guess. Lifetime.
I don't fucking know.
It's nothing close to 60. Just take a guess.
15.
25. I'll take that. I'll take that. One of every 4 of my viewers are girls. I'll take that. That works for me.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna head out. I'm done. I'm kind of hungry. I'm gonna go to Culver's or Dairy Queen.
Word.
Then make YouTube videos.
Word.
Yeah. You have a great one, bud.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you. I'm gonna peace out. Bye.